This is an occasion that I can't forget. Most of us have already grayed and limping or put on big points like mine. I'm really happy and glad to see all of you. Earlier on, Kok Fong talked about the dreams. Now I would like to remember some of those comrades who had the same dreams of making and seeing our united Malaya, including Singapore. I start with Abang Said Sahari. I spoke to him this morning over the phone, and he is mostly wheelchair bound. Although his mind is still very fresh and active, he still does some writing. He was born in Singapore, as you heard his voice earlier, and was the editor for several years of the main Malay language paper, daily paper, Utusan Melayu. What was his crime? He highlighted the problems of the rural folks suffering in Malaya. The owners of the paper, UMNO stalwarts, did not like this highlighting of the problems of the rural poor. So he was put under house arrest. And later, when he came back to Singapore, he was one of those taken in during the early hours of the 2nd of February. At that time, his youngest child, Linda, she was pregnant. The mother was pregnant with the youngest child. And he couldn't see the child until 17 years later. Very few of us have written the memoirs of our experiences in prison and outside. One of those exceptions is Said Sahari. He wrote his book, The Long Nightmare, 17 years in Lee Kuan Yew's prison. He is one of those people that we all call in prison and here our big abang. And he is still he still keeps his views known to anybody who wants to talk to him. And we wish him long life and good health. The next I would like to touch on is Linda Chen. She was born in China, but was brought to Singapore at the age of 1. She studied in English and Chinese schools. She also studied Malay. And when the Socialist Club was formed, she joined the university in 1950, doing an arts degree. And in 1953, when the Socialist Club was started, she also joined. And she was also the founder and secretary of the Singapore Federation of Women in 1956. She was detained twice, in 51 and also in 56. When she was released again, she was again arrested in 63 for a short while. When she was released in 66, she went back to her family business to look after the Shanghai bookstore. Next, I would like to touch on Dr. Lim Hock Siew, whom all of us know, who passed away last year. He was born in Tekka at his family home in Campbell Lane in 1931. He studied in Rangoon Road School as well as Raffles Institution. He was seriously interested in architecture, but the university then did not provide this course, so he took up medicine. And during the Faja trial in 1954, he was the chairman of to raise the funds for the expenses, defense of Faja fund, and he raised enough money to pay for the expenses of the Queen Counsel, D.N. Pritt. Another interesting thing, in 1958, Lee Kuan Yew ordered Ong Pang Boon to re-register all members. And he specifically instructed Pang Boon not to include Hock Siew name, neither Dr. Po's name. And when both of them finished their contract with the Singapore General Hospital in 1957, in 1958 they offered to stand for election. Of course, Lee Kuan Yew did not like it and did not include them. I would briefly touch on the life of James Puthucheary. You know, he was born in India, but he was the family came to Johor in 1930s. He studied in the Johor College and also joined the university in 1950. But in 1951, he was detained briefly, 1.5 years, for being a member of the Anti-British League. When he was released in 1963 June, Dr. Goh appointed him as the chairman of the director of Singapore Promotion Board, as well as in Jurong. After his 63 release, he went back to KL and had started law practice. He remained in the KL until he died in year 2000. The young people will remember him well. Is his pioneer work, ownership and control of the Malayan economy, which it is still relevant. This book explores the myth that the economy was controlled by the Chinese. He explained with facts and figures that it was actually the European planters and the business houses. Another figure that most of us will remember is Jamit Singh. As all of you may remember, he was the paid secretary of the Singapore Harbour Board Staff Union. And he got into trouble over some recording of funds. It was an oversight. And Lee Kuan Yew hounded him to hold him in court, and he was fined. After his release from prison in 1966, he went back to Ipoh, where he became a school teacher. He died in 1994. The one other person I would like to touch on is Abdul Razak Ahmad from Johor Bahru. He studied law in Singapore, became the president of the University Socialist Club, and he fought against the university the student protest against pro-university autonomy. After graduation, he joined the party riot. But he became ill with cancer. Although many friends told him to get treated, he ignored it. He was going about with a limp. In fact, I brought one professor from Singapore, Professor Teh Boon Keng, to Johor to examine him and advise him what to do. Dr. Teh examined him and also recommended him to see one of his friends in the Johor General Hospital, but he did not bother. He was one of the youngest who died at the age of 48. Now, the last person I would like to touch on is my old friend, Tan Jing Kui. In 1960, I joined the university after going through the Teachers Training College. Tan Jing Kui, R. Jodi, we all joined at the same year. Jodi and I joined the law school, and Jing Kui joined the arts faculty. And because of his activities outside, when he joined the Socialist Club, he was immediately elected as president and editor of Fajar, the organ of the Socialist Club. After graduation, he worked in the private sector for a while. Then he was persuaded to stand for election in September 1963. And he stood against none other than S. Rajaratnam, the then Minister for Culture. And Jing Kui lost by 220 votes. He was detained soon after, in October 1963, and released after 3 years. The Father Generation, the book that is available here, was edited by 3 people, all former presidents of the University Socialist Club, Tan Jing Kui, Dr. Po Su Kai, and Ko Kei Yew. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much.